welcome to this video, the demo video for 6998 in-depth study task 3. My name is Yuchen Luo and unit is YL4250. Let me introduce the architecture now. First, I create a dataset according to the requirement and then use Kafka to ingest the data and send it to topic 1, which will contain all transaction records. Then I use Spark streaming to do the verification. If it's valid, I will send back to the Kafka topic 2, and if it's not, I will send to topic 3. I think these are the contents for step 1. And for step 2, I use Spark streaming again to ingest the data from topic 2 and 3, and then do the ETL operations and store the data in MySQL database and visualize it by MySQL Workbench. And these are step 2. And for step 3, I will generate a monthly billing statement by MySQL and show a 100 users demo. So by the way, I run the whole system in the local environment. Since Professor said on Piazza he will accept the local version. So let's run all the codes now to generate some batches of data which we will use later in step 3. Oh, I'm sorry. The Spark one should run by this. And let's look at the generate code. I generate 100 users physical location randomly, but based on n-wise location, and then generate some random data for transaction. We can see it contains transaction ID, user ID, timestamp, and physical location by place, the amount of calls for this transaction. So the metadata will look like this. It's a dictionary, contains these key and value pairs. Then we call Kafka producer to send data to topic 1. I call it test topic. And a batch will contain 100 transactions. I use it represent 1 day's transaction records. So now for the proof, we can run the consumer for 3 topic now. Actually, it contains the old data, so now we can wait for a new batch to come here in just 10 seconds. From 699 to 799. Yeah, you can see it appears. So now we can take a look at step 1's Spark streaming code. We read data from task topic, and then for each RDD we do the handler. Actually, it's the verification process. I calculate the distance from buying place and physical location, and if it's too far, I will mark it as fraud because it's reasonable since we can't appear simultaneously in 2 places. And if it's valid, I will send it to topic valid transactions, and if it's not, I will send to fraud transactions. And I will also add this data to the dictionary, so the data after Spark streaming will look like this. Will be 2 more key value pairs, and these are the contents of step 3. And for step 2, we first use Spark again to ingest data from these 2 topics and connect to MySQL database and insert it into table. I use PyMySQL to achieve this. first connect to MySQL database and then implement the CURD, find, insert, delete, and update functions. Actually, what we need is just insert. So we will insert the data to database, and we can see it on MySQL Workbench now. So here you see the transaction ID from 100. Yeah, these are the failed transactions, and the valid transactions, valid is 1. And here there are so much. So now we have some batches of data, and these are the step 2. For step 3, we can generate monthly billing statement by doing MySQL query based on this data now. So these are the query strings. We can count the number of valid and failed transactions for each user, and the total cost, which is the sum of the amounts, the sum of valid transactions amount for all the data. So we can see the user's ID and this data, and also we can see one specific user's all transaction records this month. So here is the, for example, we set the user ID to 100 and order by its transaction ID. This is all the informations for these users. So I think by now it's all for my task 3. So thank you very much for watching.